And so while I'm a big supporter of TAA, if TAA slows down the fast track, I am prepared to vote against TAA, because then its defeat, sad to say, is the only way that we will be able to slow down the fast track. I will be voting today to slow down the fast track to get a better deal for the American people. Bigger paychecks, better infrastructure, help the American people fulfill the American dream.
Well, the headline is this: the biggest bully in the world has been defeated by a progressive conservative coalition. Welcome to the Savage Nation. Write it down, because I'm the first to say it. And I'll say it again. The world's largest bully, the monster in the White House, did everything he could to scare the heck out of his own party, and they wouldn't cave. The progressives would not cave into this bully, who is wholly owned by Google, Microsoft, General Electric, you name it. You name the big government, you name the big business, they own Obama. Now you understand once and for all who he is. He's not a Democrat. He's not a progressive. He's a puppet. He is a puppet of the giant corporations, and I mean the giant corporations. I'm not an anti-corporatist, by the way. Let's be very clear. But I read this trade bill, and I'm going to give you the trade bill immigration provisions. Your hair will stand up when you see what Zuckerberg and company were trying to get out of this president. You will die in your seat when you see what Bill Gates was trying to get out of this president with this fast track garbage. And now you'll understand why even progressives have had enough of this fraud. And what's interesting to me is that the progressives and conservatives formed a coalition to defeat it. Boehner, frankly, should be tarred and feathered and driven out of the city. I mean symbolically, of course. Boehner should be given let's say, an award, the Benedict Arnold Award. Michael Savage grants John Boehner the Benedict Arnold Award of the Year. I've never seen anything like this guy. This guy would vote against the American people for a $500 turkey. If Microsoft offered Boehner a $500 turkey dinner in a restaurant for him and his family, he'd vote against any American provision possible, in my estimation. But let's get down to brass tacks here. Trade deal for dummies. You say trade to me, I go to sleep. You say trade deal, I go to sleep faster. Now, many of you have heard rumors that this trade deal had provisions that would turn our immigration programs over to a few corporations, such as who? Zuckerberg, Mr. Undershirt, needs more billions. Not enough for that greedy, pimply piece of garbage. No, it means more money for Google. Not enough for those two pigs. They wanted more, the two pigs. Not enough money for the pigs. No, every one of them is a pig. They have the gold disease. And so you say, well, wait a minute. So why did the progressives turn against these corporations who are their friend with all other progressive issues? I'll give it to you in the simplest way I possibly can. Why would Nancy Pelosi, the most, quote, progressive politician in American history, meaning communist, socialist, you name it, why did she vote against this? Because big unions are opposing it. So you say, well, wait a minute. Why would Trumka and the unions oppose this deal? Aren't they in favor of everything Obama does that's progressive? You got to understand, at the end of the day, the unions are in business. They're in business. How do you think they siphon money to the top? From the poor little guys and the guys and dolls who work for them, and then kick money up to the top. So if they melt jobs to China or Japan or Canada or Mexico, their union membership declines and the money doesn't flow to the top. Do you understand how that works? It has nothing to do with America. It has nothing to do with the American worker. It has to do with the American union worker kicking money up to the top. So they say, of course we can't do this to our own members, not because we give a rat's behind about any of these people. They're nothing but cannon fodder to us. But if we melt 3 million more jobs like NAFTA did, we're going to lose union members. We're going to lose some of the money that's flowing to the top. We can't have it. It's as simple as that. It's realpolitik. I understand it. You know, they say